Om. 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 Sahana bhavatu. Sahana bhunaktu. Sahaviryam karavavahai. Tejasvinavadhitamastu. Ma vidvishavahai. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sairam, everyone. Just to put things into perspective, we are studying the Bhaja Govindam verses. Swami had picked Bhaja Govindam in 1973 during the summer showers and given discourse on 16 of them. So we had looked at them, and now we are continuing to look at the rest of the 15 verses which are in the Bhaja Govindam. We have already looked at 3 of them. So but 12 are remaining, and today we are going to look at 3 more. Saira. Yavat pavano nivasati dehe tavat prichati kushalam gehe gatavati vayau deha paye bharya bibhyati tasmin kaye. Yavat pavano nivasati dehe tavat prichati kushalam gehe gatavati vayau deha paye bharya bibhyati tasmin kaye. Yavat pavano nivasati dehe tavat prichati kushalam gehe gatavati vayau deha paye bharya bibhyati tasmin kaye. We'll just look at the consonants or letters which you had to pay attention to when you are reading it. Yavat pavano nivasati dehe. There are no aspirated consonants, so they are all simple consonants, so it should be easy. In the second line, tavat prichati kushalam gehe. In the word tavat prichati, I think we had looked at the same word last week also. Pricha, this is a compound consonant. It's ich and cha. The second letter in that compound consonant is an aspirated consonant. So it's a second letter in the cha varga or cha class of sounds. So it has to be aspirated. Prichati kushalam gehe. The third line also, there are no aspirated consonants. Gatavati vayau deha pai. In the last line, fourth line, the first letter is bha. The bha is the fourth letter in the pa varga or pa class of consonants. It has to be aspirated. Bharya. The next word, bibhyati. The second letter is a compound consonant, ub, yan, ya. So the ub, which is the half, if you is aspirated. So bibhyati tasmin kaye. So that's as far as consonants go. We will look at the sandhi split. Oh, sorry. So in the first word, there's sandhi. There are 2 words actually, yavat and pavanaha. Between yavat and pavanaha, there is no change due to sandhis. Yavat Pavana. The Pavanaha, because of Sandhi, because it's followed by Nivasati, the Naha, the Visarga, becomes U. So Na plus U becomes No. So Pavano is a change due to Sandhi. So Yavat Pavana Nivasati Dehe is the individual word composition of the first line. In the second line, there's Tavat Prichati. It and Prichati, they are together, put together as one word, but there are no changes due to Sandhi. Tavat Prichati. Prichati, Kushalam Gehe. In the third line, there are no changes due to Sandhi, external Sandhi at least. In the third word, in the third line, is Deha Paye. It's a samasa. It's a compound word. Just for sake of understanding, I have put a dash. Deha apaye. It's an internal sandhi. Internal sandhi for that compound word or samasa. Ha plus a becomes ha, a longer ha. Okay. So deha apaye becomes deha apaye. Okay. In the last line, bharya and bibhyati, there are no changes due to sandhi. The last word actually is made of two words, tasmin and kaye, but there are no changes due to sandhi. Tasmin kaye. So that's the word split. So let's look at the meaning now. So the word yavat, I think we have already looked at it previous also. So as long as or so long as. Okay. Both ways you can understand. So as long as, okay, yavat. Pavanaha. Pavanaha means wind. Oh, vital air. The air which we breathe, which makes us alive. You may also know Pavanaha is also the name given to the wind god. Pavanaha. Because I think most of you may be familiar with the word Pavana Sutta Hanuman. Hanuman is considered a son of wind god, or god of the wind, Pavanaha. But in this context, you can say Pavana is also the divine wind. Okay, that meaning also can be taken. Or we can say it's wind, which is consisting of the vital airs. As long as the wind or the vital airs, nivasati. Nivasati is a verb. It resides, a present tense word. As long as or so long as the wind or the vital air resides dehe, in the body. Deha is the simple word for body. Deha. Dehe is the seventh noun form or seventh vibhakti, which means in the body. Okay. Yavat pavanaha nivasati dehe. Yavat pavanaha dehe nivasati. Means as long as the wind or white air resides in the body. Tavat, until then. So I think, as I mentioned, yavat and tavat are used as pairs. So long as something happens, until then, type of meaning. Until then, till such time, tavat. Prichati. Prichati means inquires. I think we have looked at last week also. Prichati means ask, somebody inquiring, asking about something. What do they ask? Kushalam. Kushalam means your welfare, anyone's welfare. Until the breath remains in the body, till then, welfare is inquired about. Gehe, at home. Geha is home. At home, people inquire about your well-being. Then it says Gatavati. Okay. Gatavati is it's not a verb. It's actually in the death or at the death. So it's a seventh vibhakti of the word gatavat. Okay, gatavat is actually a noun. That means one who is dead. You can say dead. So gatavati is the seventh vibhakti or the seventh noun form, which means at the time of death or while death is taking place. Okay, you can say. Vayav. Vayav. Vayu is a simple noun which is equivalent to Bhavana. But Vayav is the seventh noun form. Seventh noun form of the word Vayu. So Vayav means in the wind. So in Sanskrit, there's some concept called Sati Saptami. The two words, when two words are in the Saptami Vibhakti, so which is seventh noun form. So as said, Katavati is also seventh noun form. Vayav also seventh noun form. What it means is while something is happening. Okay. So while at the time of something happening, type of meaning, it indicates time. So it basically means when the body is dying or the wind is leaving. Okay. Deha apaye. This also seventh vibhakti. Deha apaye means at the time, deha means body. Apaya means at the time of someone leaving. Okay, at the time of departing the body. Okay, the wind at the time of death, when the wind departs from the body. Okay. Bharya. Bharya means wife. Simple noun, Bharya. Bibhyati. Bibhyati means fears, is afraid. Bharya bibhyati. Tasmin, that. Tas means it's also seventh vibhakti. Okay, that's also seventh vibhakti, which tat is the simple noun. Tasmin means in that body or at the body. Seventh vibhakti can have multiple meanings, prepositions in English to make us translate it. Tas means in that body. Kaya. Kaya is body. Kaya means at the body. So what it basically means is at the time of death, when the wind, which is making the body function, is leaving, at that body, looking at that body, the wife also is afraid. Okay, that's what the verse is. Okay, yeah. So, as you can see, very different way of explaining death itself so that we understand the impermanence of the body, and this verse is there. So we'll look at the discourse of Swami, where Swami seems to more or less echo the same concept. So I've accepted it. So let's go through. Sorry. We get thrilled looking at the temple, but we don't make an attempt to see God in the temple. We get thrilled looking at the temple, but we don't make an attempt to see God in the temple. You may build a vast and beautiful temple with marble stones. But who will go to the temple if the idol of deity is not installed in it? So the temple is not important. The idol of God in it is important. Similarly, the body is not important. What is important is the Atma. which indwells it. Without the Atma, no one will keep the body in the house even for a moment. It is a dead body. How long is the body a temple? As long as God in the form of Atma is present in it. It is called Shivam, auspicious, when the Atma is present in it. When Atma leaves it, it becomes Shavam, dead body. As long as there is life in the body, it is Shivam. When life is gone, it is Shavam. No decay affects it as long as there is life breath in it. It can be sustained even up to 80, 90 years. When life breath goes out of the body, it starts decaying within 1 hour and starts emitting foul smell. No one will keep the dead body in the house, not even those who have given birth to it. The wife who spent all 24 hours enjoying the company of her husband will be frightened to look at his dead body. Why is she afraid of that? She is afraid because there is no auspiciousness, Shivam, in it. As long as auspiciousness is there, she protects it, feels very happy to see it. When life is gone, she does not even want to look at it. What is this relationship? What is true love? Who are the true relations? Take time to recognize this. A 20-year-old son loves his wife, loves his mother very much. She's so much dear to him. After some time, the mother dies. He sits close to her dead body, and wails, "Mother, I relied on you for such a long time. Only you protected me and fostered me. Who is there to take care of me now? Mother, why have you left me? Who is the one that has left?" Truly, if the body is the mother, the body is there. Who says it is gone? What really has left? It is only the individual soul, Jiva. The son loves his mother because the individual soul is present in her. The moment the individual self is lost, the same son cremates the body of the mother without any compassion. Who is true mother? Well, who has left? The individual soul. Then who is the mother? The individual soul is the mother. When there is no individual soul, nobody will respect the body. Hence, who is the true mother? That is God. God is the mother. God is the father. More than your mother, God is nearer to you. More than your father, God is closer to you. It is a great sin to forget God. The word of Sai is the word of truth. Telugu poem. All this actually Swami is given in poem form. You may have close proximity with your mother. She may be close to the body, but God is within your body. So God is much closer to you than your mother. Never forget God. Who is closer to you than the closest? God is responsible for the whole creation. God is ideal for your life. God is your very breath. Always remember, worship and follow Him at all times. The body is just an instrument which should be put to proper use. When the instrument is in good condition, you can perform all tasks with it. If you want to dig a pit, the crowbar you carry should be sharp and pointed. If the crowbar is not sharp, you can never dig the pit in spite of all the strength of your hands. When your own power joins the power of the instrument, the expected pit can be dug well. When human effort is combined with God's grace, it is possible to perform any task. So it's a discourse Swami gave on the 22nd of April, 1993. As you can see, it is as if it's a commentary on the same verse which Adi Shankaracharya has given us. Swami is laying a great emphasis on the Atman, and we should not forget that Atman resides in the body. And the body is the temple. And Swami says people are respecting the temple, but not God there. The temple has only meaning as long as there is an installed deity, which is Atman, which stay installed in the body. So that is the question. That is the topic which the verse has given to us, and Swami has nicely explained in this discourse. So with that, we will go to the next verse. This is the 10th verse in the Bhaja Govindam. Vayasi gate kaha kama vikaraha shushke nire kaha kasaraha kshine vitte kaha parivaraha jnate tatve kaha samsaraha. Vayasi gate kaha kama vikaraha shushke nire kaha kasaraha kshine vitte kaha parivaraha jnate tatve kaha samsaraha. Vayasi gate kaha kama vikaraha shushke nire kaha kasaraha kshine vitte kaha parivaraha jnate tatve kaha kamsaraha. Kaha samsaraha. We'll just look at words, letters which we have to pay attention to. Vayasi gate kaha kama vikaraha, no aspirated consonant, so it should be simpler to read. Shushke, shushke, the second letter, which is ushka, is a compound consonant. That ush is the cerebral sh. So this is palatal sh, so sh. This sh, so the tongue should be bent and tip should be pointed up. Shushke, that ush you pay attention to. There's difference between both the shs, but generally people may not differentiate, but ideally we should differentiate. Shu, ush, shushke, nire kasara. The next line, kshine, that is also the same sh, because that's the uk and sh. Again, the second letter is the cerebral sh, so kshine vitte. Okay, those are the two words. The last line, jnate, the first letter is Jna. So the Jna is made of Ja and Nya. So Jnate. It's the letter, the word should start with Ja, and then we should say Nya. Jna. Ideally, that's the right pronunciation, but because of habit, I think even in India, there are different regions pronouncing a different way. Some people say Gyate, GY. Some people say Gnya, G and Nya. Gnya. But ideally, the correct pronunciation, Gnya, start with a Ja and say Nya. Just pointers, but to the extent possible, you can pronounce it. We will. So in this verse, there are no sandhi changes. So I don't have the sandhi split because there is no impact of sandhi in the verse as it is presented here. Because there are sandhis, but there's no change due to sandhi. We will look at the word-to-word meaning for this one. So the first, I put two words here. The same concept I think I was mentioning about Sati Saptami, two words coming in the seventh vibhakti or the seventh noun form. So they come as a pair and they indicate the time of something happening. So because of that, I have put them all together. That has been used quite often. The word Sati means when that happens. Sati. Okay. Like Santi means something happens, it's a plural. Sati is also when something happens. Okay. So that kind of meaning, we'll look at the meanings. Vayasi gate. Vayasi means in the, it's seventh vibhakti or seventh noun form of the word Vayas. Vayas means age. Okay. Vayasi means in the age. Okay, at the age. Okay, seventh vibhakti. It's sometimes very difficult to translate it into English in a meaningful way because the usage of words are slightly different in Sanskrit. Gate means, we have already looked at the word gata. Gata means at the time of its departure, when something leaves. So gataha is the simple noun. Gate is the seventh noun form or the seventh vibhakti. When they are put together, vayasi gate means at the advancement of age. That's a word I have used. You can say at the going of the age also, you can say. At the movement of age, you can say. So that means when the age advances. In simple terms, in English, when the age advances. Okay. Kaha. Kaha is who or what? It's a question. Okay, but in this way, in this case, I put just what. It's a question. Okay, a questioning as to who or what it is. Something is. Why I said kaha is in Sanskrit is a masculine word, but it can refer to not only human beings, for an animal or it's birds or even trees. It can refer to because the word has a gender, not necessarily the object which has a gender. Okay, so kaha means what? Okay. Question. Kama vikaraha. Kama vikaraha. I've given the word passion of lust here, but let's look at the words. Kama is desire or lust. Kama. Vikaraha means that which has deformed itself, a deformation of lust. One meaning. Or it can also mean when something is very intense. Also, vikaraha. Vikaraha also can mean disease. So you can say the disease of lust also, you can say, or passion of lust. What it basically means is when one person becomes old, what passion lust you talking about? So that means when you're young, people may be having passion of lust, but with the same person when old, there won't be that will not be there. Where is it? It's gone. Kaha kama vikara. Okay. The next line, shushke nire. Again the same. Shushka and nire are the simple noun. Both of them are in the seventh noun form or saptami vibhakti. Shushke nire. Well, first, let's look at the word nira. Niraha in Sanskrit is also water. In Tamil, we will say nir. In Sanskrit, nira also is water. When the water, shushke, it becomes reduced, dried up. So when it's reducing, at the reduction of water, you can say, at the drying up of water. Yes, Santi, can I get Santi?
Sairam, I don't know, you said when the two are in the same vibhakti, what do you call sabda?
Sati Saptami. Sati.
Sadi Saptami, what does that mean? Sadi?
Saptami means in the seventh. Sati means when it is in it. Okay. When something exists at the time of seventh vibhakti. So it is referred to as sati also means when the word sati is actually assumed in this. When this happens and that happens, sati means when something happening, something exists, that condition exists is sati.
So when any other words are in the same vibhakti, do you have the same thing like second vibhakti, third vibhakti? Also, we have the same word
No,
or
no,
no?
no.
Only for the seventh?
Yes, only for the seventh. It's an indication of time when something happens. While something is happening,
Like two
that
things
is
occurring at the same time.
exactly.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
That's the meaning. Um, when no, it's not two things. So what is happening is this indicates a time of something happening.
Mm.
Then something else will happen. Like for example, while I was eating, somebody came home. In that
Okay.
word, while I was eating is something like, what so it's while the water was drying up,
Mm.
or when the water is drying up. That's the way in English you can translate it. But that type of usage in Sanskrit is referred to as Sati Saptami.
Only in the seventh vibhakti.
Yes.
Okay, I get it now. Thank you very much.
Silent, silent.
Right on.
See, for example, in Tamil, in each language has its a different way of describing it. Uh, um, when something is happening, in Tamil, any of your Tamils, I would say, நான் சாப்பிட்டு கொண்டு இருக்கும் வேளையில், type of thing. And the வேளை, the time is referred to as, in this Sanskrit, that's the way it's used. So this verse is completely used that way. So that's why it's just an additional piece of information for any technically interested person.
So it's a continuation of the act. At the same,
Exactly.
yeah, the
Exactly.
two things are concurrently happening. Okay.
Exactly. Understand.
I get it. Okay. And the word is Sadi Saptami. Okay.
Sati Saptami. Okay.
Good.
So, Saptami also means when something on the opposite end, something is happening, also people say. When someone is looking at something, so Saptami also is used, though it is seventh, it is the opposite event, or it's happening at the other end. That way also Sati Saptami is used.
It can be opposite too. Okay.
Yes, opposite. At the opposite end, that's happening. On one end, it's something's happening. On the other end, it's happening. But both of them are connected. Okay, that kind of meaning also is there. So I will stop. It's just a grammatical description. Let's leave it at.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Like, there's in Sanskrit, you can do multiple things, in terms of indicating time. For example, I can say, after eating, I went somewhere. So that indicates the relativity of two events happening. You do something first and then something else happens. Or you do something and then something else happens. Or while doing this, something else happens. There are three times. So this is while something is happening, something else was happening. So it can be in the present tense or it can be in the past tense. You can say, while I was traveling by bus, I saw someone. Okay, those two can happen. That type of, it's a continuous time,
Action.
action, concurrent actions continuing at the same time. That type of meaning, Sati Saptami.
And always with the seventh vibhakti.
Always with the seventh pati. Okay.
I get it. Thank you.
Shushke nire, while the water is drying up, as the water dries up, kaha, what? Kasara is a pond, a water body. So what it says is, if the water is drying up, you won't call it a pond. It is, where's the pond? What is the pond? So it's like when the next one you will understand. Kaha kasara. Kshine vitte. Kshine vitte, again Sati Saptami, both of them are in the seventh vibhakti. Kshinaha means a loss, you can say, or depletion. When something is depleting. Vitta is wealth. I think we have already looked at Vitta. Vitta is wealth. Vittaha is wealth. Vitte is a seventh vibhakti. So in the wealth. So when the wealth is depleting, there's a loss of wealth. Kaha parivara. Kaha means what? in this case. Parivaraha, retinue. Parivara means people surrounding one. Okay. Parivara, or you can say relations also. When the wealth is reduced, what is a relationship? There is no retinue. It doesn't exist. Everyone will leave. And I think which we already looked at in the previous verse. Jnate tatve. Jnataha means knowing. Jnate means in the knowing. Tatve. Tattva is philosophical truth, the principle. A true principle is tattva. It cannot mean tat is tvam. That is that you are. Okay, when one realizes the tattva, the true principle, okay, at the knowing of true principle, kaha samsara. Kaha means what? Is samsara. The samsara is the birth and death, the cycle of birth and death. It can also mean a family existence. Okay, so one will renounce everything. It doesn't have any meaning. Life itself doesn't have a meaning because it has taken on something higher. The meaning of life, as life is gone, it will take on something higher. So I've given word-to-word meaning, but ideally, I hope you understand the usage in Sanskrit when it's translated in English can mean something else. So what it basically means is, so if you look at any traditional one, they will just give the entire word line meaning. Basically, when one becomes old, where is passion of lust? It's gone. You can't see it. It's gone. When the water is dried up, there's no pond. When your wealth is all lost, you don't have relatives. Where are the relatives? All gone. When one knows the tattva, when the real principle, that one is that, when one realizes that, what is samsara? It doesn't even exist. So a person who is a Jivan Mukta, one who knows that I am not this body, he is not affected by anything in this world. Though the world may exist, the world ceases to exist for that person the way it exists for other people. So he's asking this question, seeing we are so concerned about all these impermanent things. We should be worried about the permanent. And when the permanent is there, all this means nothing. That kind of meaning. See, the entire, it's, Bhaja Govindam is to remove our delusion that to be attached to this world. Okay. It beats us up with vairagya or detachment. Bringing to our understanding, our perception, the impermanence of everything else which we give value to. So that's a meaning. We will look at a discourse of Swami, excerpt. Short excerpt, but it nicely explains, so I thought we'll go through. In the Siksha Valli, subjects are dealt with that are not antagonistic to action. So for the purpose of anyone who is, it's a new word, so maybe in the context of what it is. So in the Krishna Yajurveda, it's one of the Vedas. There's a branch called Taittiriya Shaka, which is also called Taittiriya Shaka. It is in the 4 Vedas, Yajurveda is one. And the Yajurveda has 2 branches, you could say. One is Shukla Yajur, other one is Krishna Yajur Veda. In the Krishna Yajur Veda, there is a branch called Taittiriya Shaka. I think I have covered this during an earlier section, whenever we, I think, looked at some of the Suktams. So in that, there is an Upanishad called Taittiriya Upanishad. Okay. So within that branch of Vedam, there is Upanishad called Taittiriya Upanishad. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, there are three major chapters, sections. Sikshavalli is the first one, then Brahmanandavalli, then there is something called Bhriguvalli. So these are actually Upanishads which are chanted. In Parthi, it is chanted. So Sikshavalli is part of the Taittiriya Upanishad, which is an Upanishad belonging to the Krishna Yajurveda, Taittiriya Shaka, or the branch. Okay. Just to put it into concept. So Swami is giving a talk on Sikshavalli. Okay, so in the Sikshavalli, subjects are dealt with that are not antagonistic to action, to karma. Like the combination of letters according to euphonic rules, samhita, and also subjects that are associated with dedicated action like worship, upasana. Maybe I will just explain samhita also. Samhita, generally Vedas are considered, there's one section called Samhita in Veda, which are the mantras, collection of mantras are called Samhitas. Samhita also means Sandhi. We always looking at Sandhi. So these mantras in the Samhita section of the Vedam are all put together jointly. The words all joined together so that the Sandhi gives a certain power to the words when they come together. It's just like Swami would say, one individual may not be able to accomplish much, but when people come together, join for, then they will be able to do more. That coming together is samhita. Hita also means beneficial. Okay. So Sikshavalli actually deals with this concept of samhita. Okay. So that's what Swami is referring to. It also tells how words have to be put together and what's the benefit of them. So I will just put it there. Like, for example, the breath is there, the body is there. When that is put together, there's life. When you remove them, it's dead. So putting together good things for the benefit of oneself and the world, that is samhita. So that's why the sandhi as a concept is very important in the Vedic chanting also. Okay, so that is just a digression. But Swami is saying this, so I thought I will just elaborate a little bit to provide the context so that you will understand a little better. Let me read it again. In the Sikshavalli, subjects are dealt with that are not antagonistic to action, karma, like the combination of letters according to euphonic rules, samhita, and also subjects that are associated with dedicated action like worship, upasana. These lead to self-rule, swarajya. But the complete destruction of worldly flux, samsara, will not be accomplished by just this. I'll just read. But the complete destruction of worldly flux or samsara will not be accomplished by just this. Worship exists along with desire. So, like activity, even worship cannot bring about liberation. All this flux, this objective world, samsara, is due to ignorance, ajnana, and bondage is the result. So when ignorance is destroyed, the bonds loosen and liberation is attained. Ignorance is there, persisting through natural causes. It is just like the delusion that your train is moving when actually your train is stationary. And the train on adjacent rails is moving. Watch only your train and you know the truth. Watch the other train and you are deceived. There's no use seeking to know the cause of this delusion. Seek how to escape from it. This ignorance, which is the seed out of which the flux sprouts, can be destroyed only by knowledge of Brahman, Brahma Jnana. There's no other method. So actually it's Upanishad Vahini. The Upanishad Vahini, chapter 11 deals with Taittiriya Upanishad. Swami has touched on all the major Upanishads in the Upanishad Vahini. In a gist, Swami has given the essence of those Upanishads. So Taittiriya Upanishad was covered in the 11th chapter of Upanishad Vahini. So that, we give a taste of the Upanishads. And the essence also is given by Swami. So that's what he's saying. I picked this up because of the last line in the verse. The rest of it, is all pointing towards the last one. The last line where Jnate Tattve Kaha Samsara. So I have just focused on that. The other themes get repeated in other places also. So I thought this is better to point out. The entire verse, actually the punchline or the most important line is the last one. So Brahma Jnana, Swami is nicely explaining what is Brahma Jnana. So when things are put together, it's beneficial from a worldly perspective. But that does not result in your ultimate liberation. For that, the jnana is needed. That's why Swami says even upasana cannot grant you liberation. Only the knowledge, jnani, will give us liberation. That doesn't mean the upasana doesn't have a meaning. It has meaning, but we should not stop at that alone. We should dwell deep into the jnana, which is what Swami is telling. I think I will just stop there. I have another excerpt which we can read also. Brahman is described as having the nature of wisdom. That is why it has been said that the end of wisdom is freedom. So freedom means jnana tattva, or the light of wisdom, but not the unrestrained way in which we try to live our lives in this world. There are many things that we have to learn from our Puranas, our Itihasas, our Vedas, and from the sayings of elders. For everything, speech is the authority. We are taking Shabda or sound of the word as the authority or proof. For all the words, Satya or truth is the real basis. You might have heard that of all the mandalas or regions, the Dhruva mandala is the highest. We generally think that Dhruva mandala is a place where Dhruva, the son of Uttanapada, lives. But it's a mistake. Dhruva means truth. So Dhruva mandala means a region that is higher than all the other mandalas. That is why the saying has come that truth is God. So to attain the truth or the form of truth, which is called the Parabrahman, we have to follow the truthful path, the path of truth. Whatever state we want to obtain, we have to follow the kind of path suited to it. So if we want to reach the stage of Satya, but follow the path of falsehood, we can never go to the Satya state. I shall give you a small example. When water is put in water, it will certainly get well mixed. There will be no difficulty. But when oil is put in water, they do not mix properly. Water will be separate and oil will be separate. Therefore, when Satya or truth is combined with Satya or truth, then it will be real Satya. But if we mix untruth with truth, it will be just like trying to mix oil with water. Many people have tried to comment upon our great Indian books and have expressed many contradictory and conflicting views. I shall cite here an example. Dayananda Saraswati established what is called the Arya Samaj and gave certain ideas through that Samaj. So what Dayananda Saraswati gave us are really good ideas. In certain instances, they have some complex meaning also. On account of this, many people discussed what Dayananda Saraswati is alleged to have said and never tried to understand him in the right spirit. From time immemorial, there has never been a dearth of critics in our country. Because there are no competent people in India who can denounce the critics and their criticism and oppose them. In some respects, India has come to the present stage. There are Indians who know what there is in the Vedas, Puranas, Itihas, and other texts. They are rather indifferent and feel there is no need to challenge the ideas that have been expressed by people who are not real scholars. But we should not be indifferent like that. If we leave a small plant to take its own course, it will grow up into a big tree, and sometimes it spreads its thorns also around it. Once Dakshinamurti wanted to teach the people of the real spirit of God. Also he wanted to enjoy himself. He took a tree as his guru, he took a river as his guru, so also he took a stone as his guru. He took nature as his preceptor and began to travel with joy. After some time, he reached the shore of an ocean. He sat on the shore and was contemplating. At that time, a little dirt had fallen in the ocean. The ocean became very furious and sent wave after wave to repel that dirt to the shore. Dakshinamurti got angry with the sea. He said, "What is this? This dirt is a very small thing and the ocean is a very expansive one. Can it not contain this small piece of dirt in itself? How selfish is the ocean?" Then he reflected that because the ocean is to be respected, he should find out whether it wished to give him some message. He felt he should not get angry with the ocean and prayerfully asked that he be given the reason for its action and thus make his heart and mind peaceful. Then the ocean spoke thus: "I am very expansive and very large, and in me are born many, many animals and creatures. Therefore, I always wish that my form should be very clean. If I give place to dirt, though it will be very small, tomorrow it will make all my form unclean. Therefore, I did not want to give place to that dirt and wanted to throw it back to the shore." This Dakshinamurti compared to samsara or family. If in the family we give place to a mean idea or a mean quality, it will certainly grow and will cover up and enmesh the whole family. Therefore, people leading a family life should try to see that not even a small, mean quality enters it. Samsara does not refer to family life alone. Our life itself is a samsara. So in this life, we should never give place to things that will mislead us or that will make us unclean. And so it is in terms of Brahmajnana, that which gives us a liberation. The true principle has to be upheld. Anything which untrue has to be given up. So the word jnate tattve means anything which is untrue, don't associate it with it. Give it up. See, sometimes we get, we have to include everything, even bad in us. There, for certain purpose, certain things are given. So he says, join with the truth. So in that sense, what is this? See, sometimes we say, Brahmajnana means we have to realize who is God is in us. But as Swami has said, if there's oil, then it will not mix. Okay, to attain Brahmajnana, what are the processes we have to go through? As Swami has said, see, sometimes the It may sound very good. Oh, when you attain dhanam, you will, samsara will go. We make the statement and go away. But Swami here is telling how do you, there's no point in us studying this verse if it's not going to change how we live, what we do in our life. So he's telling anything untrue, give up. Any bad thought, give up. Any bad feeling, you give up. In a family, a bad idea comes, give up that. So we should understand what should be given up. If there's a false idea, that should be given up. Well, that's the meaning. So I thought I would just point that out. That's why Swami said, Samhita coming together is only one thing. But the coming together for the wrong reason is bad. So we have united, we are all coming together, but for what purpose is more important? The goal is important. The goal is Brahmajnana. And anything which relates to that should not be together. So I will stop there. We will go to the next verse, third one. It's 8:57, but I hope it'll be quick. I hope it's okay. If you all, yes, Sister Malli.
Sairam Arano, this is the
Yes.
output question. What is the kako mean? You said haha, but I have one bhajan Rama kako. I don't know this meaning. What is that kako? K-A-H-O.
Yeah, that is the Hindi word, sister. This is Sanskrit. Kaho in Hindi means say,
Yeah.
to tell
Oh.
something. Rama kaho means say Rama.
Okay.
Okay, the language itself is completely different.
Okay, thank
Rama
you.
kaho means say the name of Rama. Krishna
Okay.
kaho means say the name of Krishna. Okay.
Thank you, Sairam.
Sorry. So we will read the next verse. I hope it's okay. 5-10 minutes, we should be able to wrap it up. Ma kuru dhana jana yauvana garvam harati nimeshat kalat sarvam maya mayamidam akilam hitva brahma padam tvam pravisha viditva. Ma kuru dhana jana yauvana garvam harati nimeshat kalat sarvam maya mayamidam akilam hitva brahma padam tvam pravisha viditva. Ma kuru dhana jana yauvana garvam harati nimeshat kalat sarvam kalas sarvam maya mayamidam akhilam hitva brahma padam tvam pravisha viditva. Just quickly look at the letters which we have to pay attention to. Maya, ma kuru, dhana, the dha is the fourth letter in the third class of sounds. It has to be aspirated. Dhana. The rest of them are all unaspirated consonants. In the next one, there are no aspirated consonants. But I'll just point out the nimesha, this cerebral sha. So nimeshat kalas sarvam. Maya mayamidam akhilam. The ki is the second letter in the ka varga, so it has to be aspirated. Maya mayamidam akhilam hitva. Brahma padam tvam pravisha viditva. There are no aspirated consonants. We look at sandhi split. Maya kuru dhana jana yauvana garvam. Actually, it's a compound word, samasa. There are no internal sandhis also which cause changes. But I put dashes so that individual word in that compound word is easily seen and we can discuss. The next word, harati nimesha kala sarva. Harati is individual word, no sandhi change. Nimeshat kalaha, it's two different words, but there's no sandhi related change. Kalaha sarvam, the visarga becomes is, so it becomes kala sarva. Nimeshat kala sarva. So the visarga becomes is, so that's a change due to sandhi. Maya mayamidam akilam. So there are three words in that in this first one long word, Maya Mayam, Idam Akilam. And E becomes me. Maya Mayam, Idam become Maya Maya Midam. Okay. And E becomes me. Akilam, and A becomes Ma. Idam Akilam. Idam Akilam becomes Idam Akilam. Two changes due to Sandhi. But there are 4 individual words. Brahmapadam Tvam Pravisha Viditva. Brahmapadam is a compound word which is samasa. Brahma and Padam. I've just put a dash just to distinguish the individual words in the compound word. There are no Sandhi related changes. We'll go to the meaning. Ma means don't. Ma kuru means don't do that. Okay, don't be something. Okay. Dhana, jana, yauvana, garva. Dhana means wealth. Jana means people. And people means all those who you know. You have strength of numbers. Dhana, jana. Yauvana. Yauvana is youth. Okay. Garva, pride, sometimes we're proud of, the wealth we have, or the proud of the people who we know, or proud of how young we are. So don't be proud of any of these 3 is what Shankaracharya is telling. Why? Harati. Harati means something which steals, takes it away. Harati. Nimeshat. Nimeshat means in a fraction of minute. At the next minute, Nimeshat is actually 5th vibhakti, but I've given the translation as inner meaning because that's the only way it makes sense in Nimesha. So as from minute to minute, something can happen. Okay. Harati Nimeshat Kalaha. Kalaha is one meaning is death, one meaning is time. Time is the real death. Because it makes things move. So Kala is time or death, whichever way you want to put it. Sarvam means all. Okay. Harati Nimeshat Kalaha Sarvam. All that you have, whether it's be money, wealth, or youth, time can take it away. The death can steal it all away in one moment. One moment we may be something, next moment everything may be gone. Once we are dead, everything is gone anyway. It can be snatched by time in a minute. So because of that, don't have pride. What's the point? Because if it's snatched away, you didn't own it. You didn't possess it. Accidents also can happen. All that. Maya Mayam. Maya is illusion. Maya means full of. Okay, so it's illusory. Maya Mayam. Idam. This. Idam also, when we say this, means it relates to creation. That is Atman. Okay, Idam is here. Okay. There are discourses where Swami has talked about Idam. I thought I would bring it, but it will be. Idam means the 2 concepts in this world. One is Idam, one is Tat. The one is Tvam, the other one is Tat. Okay, so that kind of meaning. Akhilam. Akhila means that which is actually, I've used the meaning world. Khila means that which is broken. A piece. Akhila means that which is unbroken, you can say. But in this world, the world, it means, so that's why I put. Akhilam also can mean the whole. So all this whole thing which you see, this world is all Maya Mayam, illusion. Okay. What we think is money is also illusion. What we think youth is also illusion because it doesn't last, even for a moment. Maya Mayamidam, Akilam, Hitva. Hitva means having given up. So the 3rd line onwards, it basically says, give up all this illusory world. After giving up all this illusory world, Brahma Padam. Brahma is divine. Padam is the state of Brahma. Brahma Padam. Tvam means you. Pravisha. So it's an instruction. Enter. Pravisha means it's an instruction for someone to enter. Brahma Padam. Tvam Brahma Padam Pravisha means you enter the Brahma state. It's an instruction. Viditva. Viditva means having known. After coming to know what it is. Okay, so the instruction is don't be proud of things which you have. All this can vanish in a second, a moment. Giving up all this illusory world, enter the world of Brahman. Okay, is the instruction of this verse. Now we will look at a few discourses. I think I have only one discourse excerpt. There are hundreds of discourses where Swami has used this verse. Hundreds. Swami will say that Ma kuru dana gana yavana gauravam haratinima ishat kala skala sarvam. This he repeats. He's repeated in many discourses. Just the first two words. So I picked one of them. We'll read through that. Saira. Today we are building the mansion of our life on a water bubble. We do not know at what moment it will burst. Human nature should rest upon the eternal truth, not on a momentary thing like the water bubble. Human life is becoming more and more uncertain today. Adi Shankara described the same point in one of his famous Bhaja Govindam shlokas thus. Ma kuru dhana jana yavvana garvam harati nimesha kalas sarvam. O man, do not take pride in wealth, family, friends, and youthful vigor. Time will destroy everything in a trice. Nothing is permanent in this world. Therefore, why should we rely on such impermanent things? Only Atma is eternal. This is also referred to as Brahman. Brahman is divinity. Brahma Tattva is also called Brihat. The Atma Tattva that has emanated from this Brihat is the real Aham. This is true and eternal. Therefore, we must make an effort to realize such a true and eternal Aham Tattva. These three terms appear to be different, but in fact, the inner meaning of all three is one and the same. This pure, unsullied Brahma Tattva is constantly with us, whether in the waking state or in the dream state or in the deep sleep state. That Brahman is divinity in human form, and such a divinity is in you right now. In fact, you are verily that Brahma Tattva and none else. Therefore, it is futile to seek God in some distant place. God is in you, with you, above you, below you, and everywhere. Why you should seek such an omnipresent divinity elsewhere? Today, man is wasting his precious life in the pursuit of physical, worldly, and artificial desires. Man's life today is full of selfishness and self-interest. These two together are destroying the human nature. Some people question, how can we live in this world without self-interest? But let me tell you, this is not the right way of leading a purposeful life. You are deluded to think that you are helping and serving society. No, you are in fact hurting society by your self-interest. I told you the other day in my discourse that spirituality should come first, then association, and then individual. The unity of these three is Sai. Human beings must therefore keep spirituality as their first goal. It is only when this goal is pursued that society becomes nearer. When you reach the goal of society, then the inquiry should begin, who am I? Only when you recognize who you are will you be able to understand society. When you thus understand society, you will also be able to realize divinity in the form of society. You first try to understand your own nature. So Swami has packed so much into this. Maybe I'll just dwell on it. See, Swami talks about SAI. S is spirituality, spirit. A is association, which is society. I is individual, I. Swami said, first we should start with spirituality, and then we should come to association, society, then we should come to I. Okay? But only when you know your I, then you will understand association, society, and then only you can understand divinity. So the SAI, everything is contained in this SAI. One is what we should put first, spirituality, and then the society, and then us. That order is spiritual. But in terms of worldly things, that's the way we should put everything in that order. But in terms of understanding, we should go from us. The individual should understand who he is, then he will understand the society, then he will understand divinity. So this is a factor with Swami in this. Ma kuru dhana jana yavvana garvam arati nimeshat kala sarvam. Okay. Maya mayamidam akilam hitva brahmapadam tvam. Okay, you have to enter. Okay. Pravisha viditva. Okay. So that's what brahmapadam tvam pravisha. Pravesha means to enter, viditva. Know who you are. So this actually the essence of this discourse is nicely explained by Swami. What we should give up, what we should attain, what's in this order in which we have to pursue things. So with that, I will stop. It's about 15 minutes extra I have taken. If there are any questions, I will answer to the extent possible. Yes, Kalyani.
Oh, sorry, Uncle. Just a few questions. When it says Maya, does Maya mean full of, or is it?
Yes, Maya means that is it's filled with that, or it's completely of that essence.
And then viditva, having known, is it having known Brahman, or having known that all of this is an illusion, or both? Or?
See, both you have to know. That knowledge comes, jnana is knowing everything as illusion for what it is. Knowing that one is really the Atman. And the knowledge is the one which qualifies one to enter. The knowledge is what qualifies to enter. At the point of entry, we should leave the outside world and we should go in. I think Swami used the word, the right leg should enter and the left leg should follow. So the right leg is to have the knowledge. Neti means not this. This world is not the real truth. Only Brahman. That knowledge, that thing which comes at that point of entry is knowledge. So you have to know both. The world is illusory, and the real thing is that knowledge is my understanding. That is jnana. I think which is what tattvam. The tvam is nothing but the tat. Coming to that knowledge is from what I understand. I hope I have not confused.
Yes, thank you so much. No, that helps. And in the second verse, the one I wasn't too sure I'm understanding the meaning is the one with the pond. When the water dries up,
yes,
what is the pond? So what is the water and the pond kind of? Are they representing something?
Yes, and in everything, the world is one which vanishes, and what is left, nothing is left. So Vayasigate Kama itself is an illusory thing which relates to the world. Kama can also be the desire. So the desire itself is based on something which doesn't last. Okay. Water will not last, will evaporate. Vittam will not last. So the same way, ignorance also will not last. All of them actually refer to ignorance. Something which we superimpose on something else, in Advaita terms. You see a snake on rope. What you see, the water is actually a perception, because that doesn't last. When the sun beats down, the water will evaporate. So it also means ajnana. Okay, from that sense. I know water, see, some of them are analogies which all of them say the same thing. For example, the first one, if you say my life, we say, no, ayus, age. It's only what we count, but it is a fraction of the second, everything is gone. Age is not is a bubble. That's when the next verse, Swami says, a bubble only it is. But we give so much importance. Okay, so everything we give importance which will not last. The creation will not last. When you say it's not last, it will continually change. So don't build everything on that thing which changes. That is the meaning. Okay. So what is the pond means? The land on which the water is, that is permanent. But the water is transitory. It may be needed for life. Without water we can't survive. But it is only applicable to the world for our living. That's not everything. Money is needed for us to live, but money is not everything. Desire is needed for certain things, but it's not everything. So we should understand that is all temporary, but we should not lose sight of that principle, that is Tat or Brahman or Truth Sat. Those are words Swami has used. I hope that's okay.
Is it like, so one is describing the Adheya and the Adhara?
Exactly. Adhara is the foundation, the support, the basis. Adheya is what is contained. Don't give too much importance to Adheya. Very, very true. That's what it is.
In these pairs, and would you say that, for example, Kama is based on the life or the age, yes. and then the water is based on the pond, I guess.
Yes. See, the Vayasi Gate, when that goes, means what is remaining is the Atman. Okay. The Kasara, actually, the Atman is not described here, What is permanent is not even described. It is saying na iti. This is the concept of neti, which I said, Neti, not this, not this. So Vayasi will also go, Kama will also vanish. Water also will vanish, the concept of pond also will vanish. Relations also will vanish, the Vittam also will vanish. Because ultimately both of them are Adeya only, which are related.
Okay.
The Adhara is only implied in all this. Just the way Atman is not seen. The truth is imputed, implied by this. I hope that answers.
Thank you.
Saira. It's Sister Aruna.
Sairam, brother,
Yes.
when you said about the Sai, the I stand for individual, the understanding perspective, not in the state like a putting a pitch to practice kind of. So understanding, first you have to understand I, your individual self, then association. Why we are getting back to the world again? It's something is different meaning to it, right?
Yes. So the thing is, sister, Swami is saying, I think it's okay. See, the thing is, in our life, when we live, we should put spirituality number one. Second, we should make sure that society is looked at as a second in priority. Third is ourselves. We should put ourselves last in terms of what we enjoy from this world. Everything should be first offered to God. Then it should be offered to society. Only whatever is left, we should have for ourselves. Okay, that selfishness should not be there. But in terms of understanding who we are, first we should know who we are. Once you understand who you are, and you realize that you are divine, you will see everything around you also as divine.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you should understand your divinity first, then you should understand the divinity of all that around us. Only then you will understand real divinity.
Correct. Yes. That's what I was trying to understand. What is A referred here? Okay.
Yes, you
Understand why
see,
you have to
we cannot understand God when we cannot see the divinity around us.
around us. Yes.
Okay, I can't say I'm divine, Swami is divine, everyone else is bad. I can't say that. That is just fooling ourselves. If we understand the divinity in us, we will see divinity in everyone, in the entire world. So once you understand divinity in you and understand the divinity in everything, then you are qualified to understand real divinity.
Yes. Yeah. That's my bad. Okay. Thank you so much, Saya.
Right.
Brother.
Yes. Yeah, Brother Vimalesan, yes, please.
No, just maybe I didn't follow that clearly. I just want to know what really Swami is saying about Swami Dayananda Saraswati in this context.
Yeah, so Arya Samaj,
Yeah.
Arya Samaj is a very popular organization in India, and they have their own belief system and structures. Actually, it was being translated by Anil Kumar. Professor Anil Kumar, actually, their family used to be an Arya Samaji family.
Oh, I
Okay.
see.
So, there's Swami is sometimes teaches the person next to him also. And in that process, he teaches the others also. So, he was just pointing out, even though what Dhyananda Saraswati said was very complicated and complex, followers have understood in a limited way, and because of that, there is this Arya Samaj is opposed to idol worship, all that,
Right.
So they have taken it in a very negative way and using it. That's what Swami is telling. Even though the propounders of faith have told certain things, how it is being followed is not necessarily the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way Bhaja Govindam, Swami, that's why the divinity is needed to come and provide reinterpretations.
Right.
So that's what Swami is referring to, because there may have been Dhyananda Saraswati followers, who may be opposed, and this is a message for them.
Oh.
Understand what Dhyananda Saraswati said in a proper way. Completely, I will explain to you.
Oh,
This is Swami's. Okay, so because sometimes people have some questions, and Swami will clear them. That's the sense. So what Swami says is what Dhyananda Saraswati tried to explain may not be understood by people, and may people be understanding it in a contradictory way.
Oh, okay.
Or confused way. So it's same message of Swami. There are people who have interpreted in very different wrong ways also.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening today also. And people, I should not, when the wrong understanding comes, Swami will say, I will let this be thrown out. That's the way ocean, there have been interpreters of Swami's own teachings thrown out. Because people are interpreting Swami's teachings for their own selfish purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Because of their own ego. And there are people who are supporting such people, which is not true. It is not Samhita. Samhita is, then it's a wrong understanding of Samhita. Which is what Swami is trying to. Swami has told about this problem of wrong interpretations again and again, and we are witnessing it in our life today.
Right.
And they have to be thrown out. It's not because of disunity. If the wrong interpretation is allowed to flourish, all those who follow will be misguided.
Okay.
Again, the temple, you can have marble temples, but the essence is not there. I mean, that is not a temple. The deity is left.
Right.
So the temple doesn't remain. There may be photos, there may be, activities going on, but the essence has left. Because the ultimate essence of being united with the Lord, giving up your selfishness, giving up all sense of attachment is very important. Which is what Swami is. See, Swami sometimes throws actually each of these topics which we can discuss along. So, know what the essence is. What is the purpose of going? Are the people around going towards the same? All this is very important, which is what Swami is, trying to. That is why he brought Dhyananda Saraswati, because it's sometimes wrongly interpreted understanding of what Dhyananda Saraswati tried to say.
Okay.
Which is what, so we should be very, very careful what we follow, who we listen to, what we do. That one-pointedness is essential to get somewhere. To have the right understanding, go to the right source and understand it right. I think this is something Swami said, so I hope I have not dwelt on it too much.
Okay, thank you.
So I will stop here and we can close the session with prayers. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sairam, everyone.